This conference will now be recorded.
No one has traveled the bridge of success without ever crossing the streets of failures. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope all are doing well. I am Anita from EC Department of Loyola Institute of Technology. I welcome you all for this wonderful webinar on modern approach to probability and statistics. Prayer should not be regarded as a duty, which must be performed, but rather as a privilege to be enjoyed, a rare delight that is always revealing some new beauty. Now I call upon Ajay and Akash to lead us with a word of prayer. Over to you, Ajay.
Today's Bible reading is taken from the book of Isaiah, chapter 11, verses 2. And the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Lord. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Over to you, Akash.
Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Over to you, Anita.
Thank you, Ajay and Akash. Now I call upon Ms. Jeevita to deliver the welcome address. Over to you, Jeevita.
Thank you, Anita. Good afternoon to everyone gathered here. I hope everyone is safe and doing good. It's my pleasure to extend a cheerful welcome to you all. And on behalf of Loyola Institute of Technology, Management, Administrator, Principal Dr. Sujata Anand Ma'am, and Vice Principal cum HOD of EC Department, Dr. L. Nalini Joseph Ma'am, we wholeheartedly welcome all the participants for this webinar. On behalf of the department, we, the student coordinators, welcome our speaker of today's session, Dr. S. Chitra Ma'am, Head of Department Mathematics in SRM Valliyamai Engineering College, Chennai. It's my pleasure to extend a cheerful welcome to you, ma'am. Your presence makes us very happy. I am sure we will be able to enrich our knowledge by this webinar on modern approach to probability and statistics. Thank you, ma'am, for accepting our invitation even in your busy schedule. We welcome you wholeheartedly for this webinar. In this context, I welcome all the coordinators of this webinar, faculty members of EC department, and professional friends to make this happen. Dear participants, once again I welcome you all for this wonderful technical day. Thank you. Over to you, Anita.
Thank you, Jeevita. May I call upon Mr. Dinesh Kumar of EC Department to introduce our speaker. Over to you, Dinesh Kumar.
Thank you, Anita. Good afternoon to all. I am Dinesh Kumar. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce our resource person, Dr. S. Chitra, HOD, Department of Mathematics, SRM Valliyamai Engineering College. She has received a doctorate in mathematics from Manonmaniam Sundarraj University, Tirunelveli in the year 2016. She has published paper over 13 international and national journals and present papers in more than 16 international and national conferences. She was a resource person for many faculty development programs organized by various institutes. She is a life member in various professional societies such as ISTE, ISCA, and ADMA. She authored 4 textbooks for mathematics subject for engineering students based on Anna University Regulation 2017. Currently, she is working as HOD of Mathematics Department in SRM Valliyamai Engineering College, Chennai. She has more than 24 years of experience in teaching. Her area of specialization are graph theory and domain sets in graph. I am happy she is with us to make the session more interesting and knowledgeable. Thank you, ma'am, for accepting our invitation and giving a precious time for us. We all are eagerly waiting for your wonderful session, ma'am. Over to you, Anita.
Thank you, Dinesh Kumar. All of us do not have equal talent, but all of us have an equal opportunity to develop our talents. Now, most awaited session of the day, let us go to enhance knowledge in modern approach to probability and statistics. I request Dr. S. Chitra, HOD Department of Mathematics, SRM Valliyamai Engineering College, Chennai. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Is my slide is visible?
Yes, ma'am. It is visible, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
I think I'm audible now, right? It's clear? Okay, good afternoon, one and all present here. And before starting with my session, I had to say my heartfelt thanks to the management of Loyola Institute of Technology, your principal madam and vice principal madam come EC HOD ma'am, Dr. Nalini ma'am. I have association with her long. We are having associated very long, and then even we are keeping in touch with each other. And I think, you know, madam told me that I am going to take a very good session. I think the credit goes to madam only, Nalini ma'am only, because she only molded us like this when she was our head of the department, when I was working with SRM Valliyamai under her. So she has guided me more things, and then how to deal with the students, how to be intimate with the students, how to coordinate with the students. These are all the concepts she only teaches. I can proudly say that in this open forum. Thank you so much, Nalini ma'am. Special thanks to you. And I think, you know, that Thanksgiving will be the end of the session. Before that, I will start with my subject. Starting with this, the topic is modern approach to probability and statistics. When you see the title, don't have a feel that I'm going to say only the application point of probability and statistics. Now, modern approach means that what the modern technology, modern trend, what now booming is that you are going to face a new type of examination by the university. That is, you are going to write. Till then, so many exams you have written from the schoolings, and then first semester you have completed. Now I think you are all in fourth semester, most of the students, and somebody will be in fifth and sixth semesters. So now, what is the modern approach here is nothing but what here, how to write an open book examination. That is what is the latest trend that is going to be, you are going to face it soon. That is why this webinar will be, I think, which will be very well useful to you to write the open book examination. That is what is my main criteria. That is what is my main idea to give the lecture in this session. Okay, now all are new. So what is that? Mathematics. So mathematics is nothing but what? It is not about the numbers. So we are not only studying the numbers, we are not studying only the equations, we are not studying the computations or algorithms, but it is all about understanding the concept. So now the main aim of, see, from this slide itself, it is very clear that the main aim of this session is nothing but what? Giving basic understanding of probability random processes. Now I can see that the entries, when I am simply sitting and listening to the welcome address and introduction to chief guest, I'm seeing so many students are from CSE, IT and ECE background. See, now in this juncture, I want to clarify that I am going to give common topics to the three department students: random variables, random process. That's all only I'm going to do it, because after that, no, the topics will be changing for CSE and IT department. So I'm going to give you the common 3 units idea how to approach, how to successfully complete an open book examination. That is what is the main idea of this lecture. Overview of this lecture is, I'm just going to give, I'm not going to give a deep concept, because already what staff members have been completed the syllabus. Mostly they have completed everything. I'm just going to recollect it. This session will be a recollect, or it should be a brainstorming session only. Random variables, a glance, approaches to one-dimensional and two-dimensional random variables, random processes and its classifications, and then how to face a problem in these units, in these topics, and few applications of random processes and random variables, and opening your mind for open book exam. I think this opening your mind for open book exam will be very much useful to you people. That is why I kept that in the last session, because you know that topic will give you, this topic will give you more about how the open book examination will be, what are the pattern, what is the question paper pattern, how the questions will be asked in this topic, probability and random processes, and then how the question paper will be set, what is the question paper pattern, guidelines to the students. These are all the concept that is going to be delivered in the opening your mind for open book exam. Since I kept that as a last topic, because I was with this engineering college past 25 years. In 1996, I started my career. So I know about all engineering students. So they need everything should be very much innovative. That is why the innovative will be given in the last slide. Fine. First, we'll go into the open random variable definition. Before going to start with the random variable definition, you should know what is random experiment. Random means that what? Random means it is not uncertain. Something it should be uncertain. We cannot predict anything. So here the random experiment is nothing but what? It is an experiment in that the resultant we can't predict. What is the result will be you are going to get that cannot be predicted. That is called as what the random experiment. So whenever a teacher who is taking mathematics teacher or any teacher who is going to spell it out probability, they will never forget to spell out tossing a coin and throwing a dice. Am I right? So any mathematics teacher, when she started the probability session, immediately they will take an example as tossing a coin and throwing a dice only. As it is, I am also a mathematics teacher. I am also following the same concept that now we enter into random variable. So whenever a coin has been tossed, we are going to get two outputs. One is head and tail. Now that comes under probability concept. We are not going to touch with that. We are going into the random variable. Whenever coming into the variable means that what it is varying. So which means what? We want two coins to be tossed. Now I am taking 2 coins. I am tossing these 2 coins. Now in this, we are going to start with tossing 2 coins. Tossing these 2 coins, there are so many possibilities we can have it. What are the possibilities? Nothing but what the outcomes are said to be possibilities. The outcomes are named as sample space. The sample space, what we can get, when tossing 2 coins simultaneously, we will be getting head, we will be getting head, tail, we will be getting tail first coin and head in the second coin, tail and tail in both the coins. These are all the possibilities. Other than this, there is no possible outcomes will be happen when you toss only 2 coins. Fine. Now, what is random variable? So whenever I'll give you this HH, HT, TH, TT, find the expectation, find the variance, means how you will do it? You can't do that. Am I right? If I am giving only the letters. See, whenever a math teacher is taking class, if she is deriving a derivation with respect to x, y, z, you will be little confused or you will not be comfortable sitting in the class. When the same teacher is giving like this, x is equal to 25, y is equal to 32, z is equal to 45. Now solve the problem means immediately you will solve it, because when mathematics means always you will feel that the number should be there. That is why the random variable is nothing but what? Giving a numerical value for the outcomes is said to be the, simply if you want to say that what? A real number is to be assigned to the all possible outcomes of a random experiment is said to be random variable. It is the functional relationship. How the functional relationship should be. Fine. Now what I am going to do is I am taking a random variable which is a random variable which denotes a number of heads. Number of heads is nothing but what I am taking as random variable. If I have 2 heads, then it is denoted as 2. If I am having 2 tails, there is no head, therefore 0. If I am having only 1 head, in both the cases, it is denoted as 1. So now I am naming the HH, HT, TH, TT with numerical values. This functional relationship is said to be what? Random variable. That is, random variable for this particular problem is nothing, particular case is nothing but what? 0, 1 and 2. So here the random variable is a function x of s which assigns a real number to every element of a sample space S corresponding to the random experiment E. So that's all. This is random variable. Okay. Whenever a random variable has been studied, you studied 2 types of random variable: discrete random variable and continuous random variable. What do you mean by discrete? Discrete means what? It is countable. Whenever you talk about countable, we can add it, we can count it, we can subtract it, we can easily do mathematical operations manually. Therefore, that is said to be what? Discrete case. A random variable which can take only finite number of values or countably infinite number of values, then that is said to be what? Discrete random variable. Now the very important is, okay, madam, she's already saying what are all the things our teachers have been told. That is what you are thinking. I can understand, but I'm not going to do in depth in that. Now my important topic is comes under this. This is the very important slide. You should have to keep it in your desktop. The concept needed in discrete random variables are sigma p of x is equal to 1. This is the first thing you should remember. What is sigma p of x is equal to 1? Which is nothing but what? It is the total probability is equal to 1. So now this formula helps us to find out why this formula is needed is helps us to find out the unknown constant, and it is going to help us to check the probability mass function. Next, f of x, capital F of x is equal to p of x less than or equal to x, which means helps us to find out the cumulative distribution function. Next, e of x is nothing but what? Expectation of x. Since it is the discrete case, we are going to use summation x into p of x. That's all. Next, variance of x is nothing but what? E of x square minus expectation of x the whole square. This variance we can easily find out. What is expectation of x square? Expectation of x square is nothing but what? Summation x square into p of x. So like that way, these are all the formulas which is going to be helps us in finding doing a problem. So this concept you should have to remember. This concept, if you remember, any problem is given to you, you can easily solve that problem by using this formula. This is what I want to share. Similarly, continuous random variable. Continuous random variable is the countably infinite values. All the values are in the interval. Is it to be? If you take infinite number of values, we can't count it. Summation is not possible. In that case, we are going to use the integration concept, integration symbol, integration operation. We are using it. So now same way, integral minus infinity to plus infinity f of x dx helps us, which is equal to 1, which helps us to check whether the given function is probability density function, and also we can use to find out the unknown constants. Similarly, this capital F of x is equal to integral minus infinity to plus infinity f of x dx used to find out the cumulative distribution function. Fine. Now, if you have the distribution function, then automatically differentiating the distribution function, we will get the density function. So this is the density function. Next, expectation of x. So expectation of x, e of x is equal to integral minus infinity to plus infinity x into f of x dx. This is for the integration because it is a continuous random variable. Now the only one thing what you have to do is you have to just identify whether the given function is discrete or continuous. That is very important. The formula is, if it is discrete, we are going to use summation. If it is continuous, we are going to use the integration. Variance of x is e of x square minus e of x the whole square. Now, where e of x square can be calculated by integral minus infinity to plus infinity x square into f of x dx for the continuous case. So similarly, moment generating function mx of t is equal to expectation of e power dx. Fine. Now there are some standard distributions already you are having. Fine. Now I'll ask you one thing. Whenever the teacher in mathematics, when she started teaching probability distributions or probability random process, probability queuing theory, when she is starting standard distributions, she will be immediately started with the binomial distribution, derive the moment generating function, mean, variance of binomial distribution, Poisson distribution. So usually in this we have a 6 distributions are there. All the 6 distributions, mean, variance, moment generating function, derivations should have been given. Now what they will do, no, they'll ask us to memorize. Please memorize it. You have to write it. Sure, you will get one question in this. It's very important. You will get one question in this. But please, students, this time in this open book examination, this derivation part may not be asking it to you, because very important that you can, any book or any material, if you see the derivations are perfectly there, so immediately you will copy and you can write it. But it is not possible. You cannot just like that take the material and write it. That is why please keep in your mind that what usually we will say that please one derivation will be asked to you. Please concentrate much more. You study very well. Like that we'll tell this time you don't expect any derivations of this type. So I think they may not be asking it. Fine. What is binomial distribution? Here we have a discrete case and continuous case. In the under discrete case, we are having binomial distribution, Poisson distribution, and geometric distribution. Now, in this binomial distribution, n and p are the parameters. Very important parameters are n and p. What do you mean by n? N is nothing but what? Number of trials. P is nothing but what? Probability of success. The probability mass function is ncx, p power x, q power n minus x, where q is the probability of failure. So probability of success plus probability of failure is equal to 1. Kindly somebody is unmuted your thing. Please mute it now. P plus Q is equal to 1. Fine. So now what you have to remember in this is what is binomial distribution. So what is binomial distribution? When and all binomial distribution is to be used, the probability of getting X successes in n trials where n is finite. If the n is finite number, for example, if the problem is given that n is a finite number is given, find the X successes, means in that particular case, you have to do the binomial distribution. Similarly, if the probability of getting X successes in n trials where n is infinite, if the n number is infinite, then in that particular case, we are going to use Poisson distribution. Ma'am, now you are talking about discrete case. In this discrete case, why infinite number is coming? How we can use infinite number means, see the probability mass function. In the probability mass function of binomial distribution, you are using n. Directly you are using n. So if you have n is equal to 10, n is equal to 5, like that, if you know the n is finite number, then only we can calculate the probability. But when you see the Poisson distribution, n is not directly given, but n is given indirectly, that lambda is equal to n into p. Here the lambda is the parameter. In the lambda, n is already is there. Therefore, we are not directly using n value here. Hence, infinite cases are given. See that 0, 1, 2, 3 up to infinity cases are given. Then probability distribution is used. Sorry, Poisson distribution is used. Fine. Now, what is geometric distribution? Geometric distribution, when and all it is used, that is very important. Geometric distribution is used to find out the first success. For example, I say that I gave 1 coin to you, or I gave a die to you. I will say number 6 is my success. You please toss throw the die until you get the 6. Therefore, you start throwing it. You are not getting for 10 trials, you are not getting it. And then if you are throwing 50th trial, you are getting the number 6, means then we say that what? The first success arrived in the 50th trial. In that particular type of problems, we are going to use the geometric distribution. Now, continuous case, we are having uniform distribution. It is otherwise called as what? Rectangular distribution. In this, the probability mass function is a constant. It is f of x is equal to 1 by b minus a. Exponential distribution parameter is lambda. It is f of x is equal to lambda e power minus lambda x, where x is greater than or equal to 0. Normal distribution is very much useful in most of the problem. We are using normal distribution. It is a bell-shaped curve and symmetric at x bar is equal to mu, and then mean median mode of the normal distribution coincides in the middle line. So therefore, this is the continuous distribution. So I am not going to go in depth of these distributions or introduction concepts. Already you know that. Fine. Now coming into the problems. In that also, I am not going to derive any problem. I am going to tell you how to analyze a problem. Now, in this problem, I have taken a simple example, only one problem. A random variable x has the following probability function. X is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now it is having only variable is having only 5 values. It is finite number. Corresponding probabilities are given. Now, in this corresponding probabilities k, 3k, 5k, 7k and 9k, you have to find out what is k and some probabilities you had to find out. Cumulative distribution function you had to find out, expectation of x and variance of x in simple problem. Now, how the problem will be asked in your end semester? How the problem will be asked in your end semester? They will be asking a problem of this type. This type means not the same problem. Not the problem that and all your madam, they would teach you in the class, in the online mode or offline mode, whatever it may be the mode. And the problem may not be taken any of the textbooks. The problem may not be taken any of the exercises from any of the textbooks. They can create their own problem. In the same problem, what I can do is I can create anything in this problem. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I can take it as what 0, K, 3K, 5K, 7K, 9K. I can give it as what 2K, 4K, 6K, 8K, 10K. Fine. The same problem I can ask for like that. Am I right? Automatically what happened? You have to have the concept. That is why the first slide I said that mathematics is just understanding. You should know the concept. Now I said the two important slides you have to keep it with you is nothing but what? These two slides. These two slides. Now sigma p of x is equal to 1 gives us to find out the unknown if it is discrete case. So now this slide we have all the formulas. If you know this concept very well, then automatically what we can do is we can solve this problem. Any number is given, anything is given, you can easily solve this. K you can find out sigma p of x, add all the probability of x, p of x, add it everything which is equal to 1. Sorry, please mute it, ma. Or add all the p of x and then which is equated to 1, then we can easily find out your k. Now in this particular problem I add everything, we will be getting k, 3k, 5k, 7k, 9k which is equal to 1, 25k is equal to 1, k is equal to 1 by 25. Change the k values. I am just changing the k values. If I change the k values 2k, 4k, 5k, 7k, 9k, automatically the k value will be changing, the problem will be changing. That is what is you should have to remember. So I am not going to teach you more number of problems like that. Just you should know the concept. If you know the concept, any problem is given, whether it is an open book, closed book, whether you are going to write online mode, offline mode, MCQs pattern, anything is possible for you. But only one thing lagging in our student is they are not trying to learn the concept. Now also if I say more concepts, when I see mathematics means you will be like this, you will have a feel like that. Mathematics teacher will be giving the formula, okay, take this formula, substitute the values, give the answer, then you will be comfortable sitting in the math class. The same math teacher if talking about some concept, some application, something very important derivations, then automatically you will feel bored. Ma'am, math class, it is not like a math class, please ma'am. Like that way the students are saying. So please don't have that, because the trend has been changing. In this pandemic, the trend has also been changing. Now you should know the concept. Now you know how to find out k, you know how to find out the probabilities. P of x less than 3, less than 3, strictly less than 3. Less than 3 means you have to take only 0, 1 and 2. P of x is greater than or equal to 3. Greater than or equal to 3 means you have to take greater than or equal to 3. Somebody is please mute it.
Participants, please kindly mute your mic. Please kindly mute your mic, participants.
Sir, mute for everyone, sir, except madam.
Okay, ma'am. Unable to find this person, ma'am. Please kindly mute your mics, participants.
Okay. You cannot see who is unmuted. Fine, anyway, it has been stopped. Fine, anyway, not a
Sir, make me organizer. I will dismiss them. I will excuse the attendees.
Okay.
Okay, no problem. It's not a problem.
Any noise, sir, you.
Not a problem, ma'am. It's not a problem. It is happening, so no problem. So so when you change the k values, automatically the problem will be changing. That is why you have to learn. So p of x is greater than or equal to 3 means 3 and 4 you have to add it, we will get the solution. Similarly 0 to 4 means start from 0 to 4, everything you have to sum it up, we will be getting the probabilities we have sum it up, we will be getting it. Same way, cumulative distribution function. What do you mean by cumulative? Cumulative is nothing but what? You have to add one by one. Everything you have to add. First you have to start from 0. So f of 0 means p of x is less than or equal to 0. Less than or equal to 0 means p of x is equal to 0. You have to take it. The first case 1 by 25. Second case is f of 1. F of 1 means p of x is less than or equal to 1. Less than or equal to 1 means what? We have to start from 0 and we have to include 1 also. So including 1. So which means 4 by 25. Next, P of f of 2. F of 2 means P of x is less than or equal to 2, which means what? Including 2. So 0, 1, 2. Like that way, cumulatively adding everything. At the last should be equal to 1 because we know that the total probability is always equal to 1. This is how you have to find out the cumulative distribution. Now tell me, any problem is given, any number of values are given, any k is given, you know how to find out k. After finding k, you know how to write the distribution function. After writing the distribution function, any probability concept is been asking, you can easily do it. If the cumulative distribution is asking, you can extend the table. If it is for 8 numbers, extend the table up to 8 and do it. That's it. So this is how you have to learn the problem. You should not just memorize this problem and keep in your mind. The answer for k is 1 by 25. The answer for k is 1 by 25. That is not the case for the mathematics is concerned. Not in this pandemic situation, new type of examination is concerned. Now expectation of x, already I given in that expectation of x is nothing but it is E of x is equal to sigma x into p of x. So sigma x into p of x means that what? You have to multiply x and p of x. 1 and 3 by 25, 2 and 5 by 25, 3 and 7 by 25, 4 into 9 by 25. Like that way, adding everything, we will be getting 7 by 20, 70 by 25. Next, variance of x is E of x square minus E of x the whole square. Now, E of x square means what? X square into p of x, which means just multiply x square, take the square of x square, 0 square into k 1 by 25, 1 square into 3 by 25, 2 square into 5 by 25, 3 square into 7 by 25, 4 square into 9 by 25. Like that way, in all this is how the problem will be. They can ask any problem, you can able to do it. Now coming into the problems at glance, how they can ask you. They didn't give any direct problem. Instead, they can give like this. When a die is thrown, x denotes the number of turns up. Find E of x square and variance of x. So now what happened? A die is thrown. A die is thrown means what are all the possible outcomes we can have it? The possible outcomes are nothing but what? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6. What is the probability of getting 1? 1 by 6. 2, only 1, 2 is possible, 1 by 6. 3 is only 1, 3 is possible, therefore 1 by 6. 4 by 4 is 1 by 6. 5 is 1 by 6. 6 is 1 by 6. So x takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. P of x is 1 by 6, 1 by 6, 1 by 6. Now the table is there. Anything you can find out. Anything you can easily find out by using the table. Similarly, next problem. This type of problem they can ask you. Constructing the table by yourself. X is a random variable taking the values -1, 0, 1, such that one relation is given. You have to assume the hint I have given as assume P of x is equal to -1 is k. So first assume P of x is equal to -1 is k. Then P of x is equal to 2P of x equal to 0 means 2 will be 1 by k by 2. P of x is equal to 1 is k. Now we have all the concept. X is -1, 0, 1. P of x is k, k by 2, k. Now easily you can find out what is your k value. Then automatically we can solve it. Fine. Now take the fourth question. A continuous random variable x has PDF. Now it comes into continuous random variable. Continuous random variable means you are not supposed to think of summation. You have to go into the integration. The same concept, you have to go into the integration. Already I given all the formulas to find the k, to find the cumulative distribution, to find the expectation value and variance of x. Everything I have given in terms of continuous random variable also. Now use that and you have to find out the problem. So the only concept, only thing you should remember is that how to solve a problem. What are all the basic concepts needed to solve a discrete problem or continuous problem? So that 2 slides you should have to keep it with you. Then any question has been asked in this one-dimensional random variable, easily you can attempt. Please remember, you will never get a problem that is going to be in your textbook or in your classwork. You have to solve it and submit it on the day of examination. That is why I am insisting this much in this basic concepts also. Fine. Now coming into the two-dimensional. Two-dimensional means automatically, see, we are talking about random variables. Hence, the two-dimensional random variable means we have a x function as well as y function. So here, let x of s and y of s be two functions, each assigning real numbers to each outcomes of s. xy is the two-dimensional random variable. Here also there are two types of random variables possible. One is two-dimensional discrete random variable, two-dimensional continuous random variable. So discrete means it has only finite number of quantities. Continuous means it has infinite number of quantities. Okay, this is another very important slide that you should have to remember. So now to find the unknown constant, and to check the given function is joint probability mass function, then this is very important. Total probability is equal to 1, sigma is equal to 1 to n, sigma j is equal to 1 to n, p of xi yj is equal to 1. This is very important. Next, to find marginal density function. Now this is a joint density function. So we have a joint density function, means it is having both x function and y function. So we are having f of x comma y function. F of x comma y is there. In that f of x comma y, you have to separate, you have to take the f of x function alone, that is said to be marginal density function of x, and marginal density function of y. Now to find that, what we have to do is, marginal density function of x means sigma j equal to 1 to m pi comma j. Marginal density function of y means I equal to 1 to n pi comma j. Same way, cumulative distributive function of x, cumulative distribution function of y, and then joint cumulative distribution function of x and y, and then to find expectation of x and to find expectation of y, and expectation of x and y together. And very important new concept here arrived is to check whether the given functions are x and y are independent or not. To check the independent or not, the joint density function p of xi comma yj is equal to p of xi into p of yj. This condition satisfies, then we say that it is x and y are independent. Next, conditional probability. Now only we are arriving into conditional probability. P of x is equal to xi given y is equal to yj is equal to P of x is equal to xi, y is equal to yj given by divided by P of y is equal to yj. Similarly, P of y is equal to yj given x is equal to xi is same, numerator is same, only the denominator is P of x is equal to xi. In this denominator, you need marginal density function. To find a marginal density function, why needed is, in this you have to apply the marginal density function for the denominator. Now the same concept for the continuous. Continuous random variable means automatically you have to use the integration. This slide is also very, very important. All the formulas I have mentioned in this slide to find the constant, to find the marginal density function of x. So whenever a joint density function is given, to find the marginal density function of x, you have to integrate the joint density function with respect to y. Similarly, integrating with respect to x, we will be getting the joint density function of y. So like that way, you can easily find out all the concept by using these formulas. So I just collected all the formulas and given in a single slide because these formulas will be very much useful to find out the mean expectation of x, expectation of y, variance of x, variance of y, and then conditional probability of x given y, conditional probability of y given x. So this is the formula collections for the two-dimensional continuous random variable. Now taking into a problem at glance, a two-dimensional random variable x comma y has a joint probability mass function p of xy is equal to. This problem looks like a continuous. P of xy is equal to k into 2x plus 3y. So when you see like this, then automatically you feel it is a continuous. But it is not so because the x takes value 0, 1, 2, y takes value 1, 2, 3. So 0, 1, 2 means it is finite. Y 1, 2, 3 is also finite. Therefore, it is a discrete case only. So discrete case, you have to construct a table like this. Hint. So x takes value 0, 1, 2, y takes value 1, 2, 3. Now we have to apply the value. Y is equal to 1, x is equal to 0 means 3k, 5k, 7k, 6k, 8k, 10k, 9k, 11k, 12, 13k. That has been arrayed only from this function. Right. Now how the problem will be asked? Is that the same problem they will ask? No, they will not ask the same problem. They can change the function. In this k into 5x plus 6y, they can change it. Or 3x plus 4y, they can change it. Instead of x is equal to 0, 1, 2, they can take x is equal to 1, 2, 3. That is how you should have to plan. See, the problem, they may not be asking the same problem. You have to know how to solve it. Now, find k means what? You have to add everything which is equal to 1. You will be getting the answer for k. marginal density function. Marginal density function is nothing but what? Marginal density function of x and y. See, along, so marginal density function of x and y means here you have to put it along the x axis, you have to put f of y. Along the y-axis, you have to put f of x. That is what I will tell to my students simply. So here this is along x-axis. Here you have to put, in this place you have to put fy. This is along, this is the y values. So in this y values, you have to put f of x. That's it. Adding first each row. This first row, if you add, that gives f of 0. X is equal to 0. First row, if you add, that gives what? 9 plus 9, 18k. 18k is nothing but what? F of x is equal to 0. Similarly, 9 plus 24k is f of x is equal to 1. So 23, 30, 30k is f of x is equal to 2. Similarly, adding row wise, 8 plus 7, this gives what? F of y is equal to 1. This gives what? F of y is equal to 2. This value gives f of y is equal to 3. So that's all. The concept you should know this. See, whatever it may be the k value is there, whatever it may be the function is given, you have to know how to construct a table, how to find out the marginal density function. Please, I'll repeat. The marginal density function is nothing but what? Along the x values, you have to put fy. Along the y values, you have to put fx. That gives the marginal density function. Fine. Next, same way, another problem is given. A bivariate random variable x and y has a joint density function f of xy is equal to kx square into 8 minus y. Now it is given as what? 0. 0 less than y less than 2. 0 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 2. Why I given like this means, if you see that 0 less than x, now this is nothing but what? Obviously it belongs to a continuous problem. 0 less than y less than 2. Continuous case means 0 less than y less than 2. So it is log.
Participants, please wait. Speaker have some technical issues. He will join within 1 or 2 minutes.
Chitra ma'am, ma'am,
She
can you
joined
able to hear
some.
me?
She
It is
having some
connected,
issues
sir.
in the display is
So
coming, but
when
the
I
audio
call
is
her,
not coming.
okay, I will ask her to log out and log in again. Okay, sir. Just a
I
minute.
informed ma'am. I informed ma'am.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay.
Am I audible, sir, now?
Yes ma'am. Now it is audible ma'am.
Now it's audible. Okay, sir,
Yeah,
I'll share.
wait a minute. Wait a minute. We make you
Okay.
as a presenter ma'am. 3 minutes.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yes ma'am. Now you can share the screen ma'am.
Sir, now I'm audible. Please.
Yes ma'am.
Tell
Audible
me.
ma'am. Yes ma'am. Yes ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry for the disturbance. Okay. It is all there. No, we are talking about probability, right? Probability is nothing but what uncertainty. So uncertainty will happen anytime. Math teachers are not used with this technology, right? But now we are in the pandemic situation. We also learned this. A math teacher needs only one simple chalk piece and one simple board or some ball is enough for this. But still, what to do? Fine. Anyway, we are talking about uncertainty, probability. Say something has happened. Sorry for the inconvenience. Fine, I'll continue with this. So now we are talking about two-dimensional random variables. Now I am going to give some applications. Why we have to study the probability random processes in the EC department or in the engineering departments. Say random variables are used in signal processing and communication program to analyze the noise effect. See noise effect, if you want to analyze the random variables are very much used. So in this junction, and then the marginal conditional distributions are used to calculate efficiency of estimator, consistency and estimating multiple parameters. What do you mean by efficiency? Efficiency is nothing but what? Output given input. So if the input is given, accordingly we'll get the output. So efficiency is equal to output given input. Whenever you say about x given y, that belongs to conditional probability only. So conditional distribution only. By using that, we can easily find out the efficiency. Now, efficiency estimations can be calculated, can be identified by using conditional distributions only. Here only our probability random process concept has been used. Fine. Now coming into the digital signal processing, random process is used to analyze the noise effect in the modern signal processing, and it helps us to convert the analog to digital. So analog signal has been converted into digital signal. This random process is being very much used. To remove the unwanted signals also, this is being used. To generate random numbers from arbitrary distributions. So these are some basic applications which are going to be used in your digital signal processing by using the random processes. In this juncture, I want to proudly share that we, the maths department staff members of Vallima Engineering College, we have authored one book. In that book, it consisting of all the engineering departments, like starting from civil to all the departments, civil to mechanical, all the departments, what are all the mathematics concept used, starting from the eigenvalues, eigenvectors, all the mathematical concept has been used in the all engineering concept. We have made a book. That book, if you see, I'll show you that book at the end of the section if time permits, and then you can see that that will be very much useful for identifying the most of the applications of mathematics in your engineering. Now I'm not going to go in depth of this. We'll go for the random process. Random process is nothing but what it is, a process. Process means automatically we should know the time function. See, a process means it has a time function. So now whenever I start the introduction class of random process, I never forget to tell this example. Mathematics starts from the beginning of a day. When a day starts, when you get up from the bed, the mathematics has been starting. So when you take a cup of coffee or a cup of tea in the morning, what we will do? No, we will put a crystal, sugar crystal in it. So when the the coffee should be very much tasty. We have to get the good output of the coffee. Then automatically we have to wait until the sugar crystal will dissolve. See, that is the time will taken to dissolve the sugar crystal. Therefore, the time constraint is also been included in the random variable. Then that is called as what process? Therefore, a random process is called as a stochastic process, which deals with varying randomly varying time waves forms such as a message, signals, and noise. A random process is a function of both the sample space and time variable. If you have a sample space and also the time variable has been included, then we say that it is nothing but what random process. Here, usually random variable will have x of t alone. Random process will be included with x of s comma t. X of s is the random variable, t is nothing but what time function. There are two types of random process possible. One is deterministic, another one is non-deterministic. If the future value of any sample function can be predicted from its past value, future value can be predicted from the past value, then it is said to be deterministic. The future value of a sample function cannot be predicted from the past value, then it is said to be non-deterministic. So these are the joint density function of your this random process. I think I don't want to go in depth of this joint density function. If you have a joint distribution function, if you have a probability distribution function, differentiating that with respect to x, we will be getting the probability density function. If you have two processes, x1 of t1, x2 of t2, then if you differentiate partially with respect to x1 and x2, we will be getting second order density function from the distribution function. Fine. And this is mean also, as it is, we can find out expectation of x, and then autocorrelation function. Since why it is autocorrelation? Autocorrelation is nothing but what? We are taking two processes at two different times. So x of t1 and x of t2 are two processes at two different times. Therefore, the autocorrelation function has been defined, and then autocovariance. So properties, some of the properties of autocorrelation function and autocovariance. So now we have a classification of random processes that has continuous random process, discrete random process, random sequence, and discrete random sequence. These examples, definitions, I don't want to go in depth. Now stationary process. Here only the problem starts. What is stationary process? What do you mean by stationary? Stationary means that what? It is stands still. It is simply stands still, which means what? It is not varying. It is a definite. It is not varying. It is just still. Therefore, a random process is said to be stationary random process if the statistical properties such as mean, moment, variance, etc. do not change with time. Therefore, it is said to be stationary process. It is stationary. That is, expectation of x of t should be constant. Then we say that it is a stationary process. Now, wide sense stationary process. Here, a random process x of t is called wide sense stationary process or weak sense stationary process if the x of t, that is expectation of x of t, is constant and the autocorrelation function rxx of t1 t2 is independent of absolute time t. So which means that what? Rxx of this condition should be satisfied. E of x of t should be constant. Rxx of t1 t2 should be rxx of tau. It is a time difference. It should be time difference. Then we say that what? It is a wide sense stationary process. Similarly, we can say joint wide sense stationary process. Joint wide sense means, joint means we are taking processes. We are taking two types of process we have to consider. Two dimensional. Here comes the two dimensional. X of t is one random process, Y of t is another random process. Then for that, if you want to check with that stationary or WSS, then you have to find out E of X of t. E of X of t is equal to constant, E of Y of t is equal to constant. Fine. Now we'll go into some problem. How the problem will be asked? Show that a random process X of t is equal to A sine omega t plus theta is WSS process, where A and omega are constant, theta is uniformly distributed. So now theta is uniformly distributed in 0, 2 pi means now the interrelated concept has been coming. First unit you studied uniform distribution. If you didn't remember the uniform distribution probability mass function is 1 by b minus a, then we can't identify what is our f of x. So f of x is 1 by 2 pi. We have to prove that what expectation of x should be constant or 0. Then rxx of t1 t2 should be rxx of t1 minus t2 minus t1, that is time difference function. If these two conditions are satisfied, then we say that what it is, the random process is a WSS process. Similarly, it is a continuous case problem. Now the second one is a discrete case problem. We have to identify whether it is discrete or continuous case. The third one is also a continuous case problem of the random processes. Like this way, they can ask you anything. First question is A sine omega t plus theta. Second, last question is A cos omega t. The only difference is instead of sine, they given cos. So the concept will be the same thing. Now I think Margot process. In this Margot process is nothing but what it is, a conditional probability. Now in the Margot process, the transition probability matrix is very, very important. You will be getting a problem in the transition probability matrix. So now the transition probability matrix of Margot chain is given in this format. Now you have to find out the problem. P of x2 is equal to 3. So the x2 means that what? It is symbolically, this can be represented, P of x2 is equal to 3 can be symbolically represented as P3 of 2. P3 of 2 means what? Here the 2 denotes your order of the matrix. So 2 means you have to go for P square. You have to multiply the matrix and then we'll get the P square matrix. In that we have to find out the solution. So now this is the problem. They will be asking this type of problem. In that problem, they can change the values of your P. They can ask you. They can also change the initial distribution P of 0. They can ask the same question. And also instead of x2 is equal to 3, they can give you x1 is equal to 3. x1 is equal to 3 means the same problem can be done by using the given transition probability matrix. No need to square it off. We can do the problem with the same given matrix. Next, very important is TPM formation, transition probability matrix. What do you mean by transition probability matrix? Means they'll be giving some concept. Reading this, you have to construct the matrix and you have to do the problem. Construction of the transition probability matrix means the transition probability matrix should have all the elements should be positive. No negative element should be there. All the elements should be positive. And then if you sum up the first row, you'll be going to get sum of the first row is equal to 1. Sum of all the rows should be equal to 1. See, the 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 is 1. Now, if you read this problem and if you construct the matrix, the first row you'll be getting 1. The second row is also getting 1. Third row is also getting 1. So now the construction you should know. The only concept what you should know is how the TPM should be. Any problem is given. The same problem your madam they should have taught you in the class. Same problem, instead of Radha, she can make it as what Sita. That's it. But the concept you should know is nothing but what? Simply the total, all the elements should be positive. Sum of the rows should be equal to 1. So that is how very important, that is the very important concept you should remember in this Margot process. So I have my notes with you. So now coming into the, these are all the concept in 3 units. I think the first unit, one-dimensional random variable. Second unit, a 2-dimensional random variable, how to do the problem. And third is random process, how the problem will be asked. In the Margot process, how the construction of TPM has been made and how to solve the problem. That is always very, very important. Now, the very important concept I'm coming into, after this, you will get a clarity why I have taken the session like this. Open your mind for open book examination. So what is open book examination? How the open book examination will be? An open book examination is that in which the students are allowed to refer the class notes. So you can refer the class notes, textbooks or other approved materials while answering the question. So You are allowed to, and you are allowed to see your class notes, textbooks, open everything material. You can answer from the questions. But what I said, they will not ask you any questions from your classwork. They will not ask you any questions from your textbook. They will be asking questions only from the from their own team. Then at that time you should know the concept. The purpose of open book examination is to test your understanding of the subject, not with the memorizing and vomiting it off. It is only the understanding of your subject. That is why this open book has been given. All the questions in the exam will be analytical type. Analytical type means you have to calculate. So you should know the concept, then only you can calculate. That is why I have taken the session only by the conceptual pattern. No direct answers from the textbook or reference books. Students can refer to the course material in physical form as well as from the web. You can check with the website also. You can check with the Google form, but you will not going to get the answers from there because you have to solve the problems. Guidelines for the students in the open book. According to the new format, the question paper pattern will be, for the open book examination, the question paper pattern will be part A question, 5 part A questions, 5 into 2, 10 marks. And then 5 part B questions. Part B is nothing but what? 5 part B questions. Each question is 8 marks. So in this part B, usually we have either or pattern. Here there is no either or pattern. They will be asking one question from your first unit. Any question 8 marks they'll ask from first unit. You have to write it. There is no choice at all. No choice for you. 5 part A questions, 2 marks each. 5 part B questions, it is also 8 marks each. There is no either or pattern. Only one question from the first unit. So if you don't know the concept, I think you may not able to write it. The questions will be asked from each unit. There will not be any choice in the part B session. And then there will be 3 set of question papers will be given by the Anna University. 3 set of question papers will be given. The questions are jumbled. So jumbled means no questions will be repeated from one friend to another friend. You can't call your friend to. You cannot call your friend. You cannot take the answer from them because this question paper will be different. The students can use maximum of 12 pages to write the answers. They have to scan it, upload it after completing the examination. The examination will be conducted for total 50 marks and it will be 90 minutes time. Okay, the following points are to be noted for preparing. What you have to do is work out the main concept and problems. See, work out all the problems and keep your concept ready. Make brief and legible notes. Summarize important information. Use clear headings. Organize notes by topics. Identify how topics are connected. Each and every topic, how connected, you should have to know it. For example, in the random process, uniform distribution function is mentioned. You should know what is uniform distribution, PDF. And random process problem, you should have to solve it. So there are interconnected topics should be, you should have to have an idea about it. Okay, the professor from Anna University said that MCQ type of question papers will get either 1 mark or 0 mark. But in the case of descriptive open book examination, the students may get a step marks. So that is why they are very much insisting on the open book descriptive examination. And only one thing they treat as a malpractice is getting answers from others in any way from the group discussions will be considered as malpractice. That is why they are giving 3 question papers. You should not call your friend or you should not sit together and write the examination. That will be treated as a malpractice. So these are all the informations I collected from the Anna University circular. It is been given on 17/4/2021. So this time you are going to write the examination only this pattern. So please, in the mathematics is concerned, everybody all can sit together and write it, because if you know the concept, then only you can solve it. So there may not be any malpractice possible in the mathematics is concerned. If you don't know the concept, you cannot write it. That is why I collected all the collection of formulas, everything. I have given it to you. So this is how, that is why I have taken the session like this. Not much concentrating various problems and solving it, because it is not possible. This is one full semester topic. I just wanted to give in 1 hour 10 minutes time or 1 hour 15 minutes time. So that is why I just given the glimpse of all the topics which is common to CSE, IT and ECE. So for CSE people, you are having queuing theory. In the queuing theory concept, you should know what are the 4 types of queuing models. That what is lambda, what is the row, you should have to know it. That is why very important. If you know that concept, then automatically any problem is given, you can be able to write the question. So that is why conceptual learning is very much important in the mathematics is concerned. So integration, you should be very much familiar. If you don't know the integration, then you can't do any problem from the continuous case of problem, whether it is one dimensional or two dimensional. But basically what happens in schools, they are not teaching integration, they are leaving the integrations as it is. So you don't know the basic concept how to integrate a function is given. So that is how the problem is. That is why mathematics is very tough, engineering mathematics is very tough, that and all you are saying, but it is not so. If you are very much good in integration and differentiation, engineering mathematics is nothing. But without engineering mathematics, you are not able to do with your engineering concepts. We are not able to do it. That is how this will be. So please, I request the students to learn conceptually. All the concept you have to learn it. Any problem is given any time of any time, you should know. You have to get the formulas here and then, just apply, get the answer. That is what I have taken the idea like this, and I have given an overall glimpse of the 3 units. Okay, thank you. So I am getting some questions from the. Thank you so much.
Thanks for the wonderful session, ma'am.
So
it was very knowledgeable and insightful information. Now we have come to question and answer session. Raghavi will take over the question and answer session. Over to you, Raghavi.
Thank you, Anita. Ma'am, we have some queries from our participants. Due to time limitations, some questions will be answered. And the first question is, what are some real-life examples of random process?
Okay, real life exams, real life example. I just wanted to share one thing. I'll do one thing. I cannot share though right now. I can't share.
Give me, ma'am. I will make a present, ma'am. 2 minutes, ma'am. Wait.
Just.
Yes, ma'am. Wait a minute.
No problem.
Chitra ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
from my part, I want to have. Can you give examples for three distribution I given? No, can give an example
Binomial
for that,
Poisson
so that any case study like they may give the population of the country or to find out. So they should apply, you know, which distribution method I should. So if you could able to help us in that.
Yeah, that is why I've mentioned in that, ma'am, in the sharing in the screen itself. I mentioned what is the I'll show that.
I think you told me, ma'am, that is n. If the n is given means polynomial. So the people should know, the students should know when it is finite and how we can consider as finite.
Yeah, that is what, ma'am. That is what. See, for example, finite, usually in statistics, ma'am, statistics usually we'll say that what finite quantity means, it is less than 30. N should be less than 30. 30 and less than 30 is given, then it is said to be simple. Sample will be a small sample, like that we can take it in statistics basically. So if the number of n will be more than that, then we can say it is a large sample. In that particular case, the n will be infinity. We can say n will be infinity. So in that particular case, we had to go for the Poisson distribution. Usually, ma'am, Poisson and binomial distribution, it is a Poisson distribution is nothing but what limiting case of binomial distribution only. So we can do both the problems. For example, n is equal to 30, we can n is equal to 30 means probability of finding x is equal to 1 means n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 30 we can calculate. If it goes to more than 30, we can't calculate that. So in that particular case, we can use the parameter lambda by using n and p multiply. We multiply n and p. We use the parameter lambda and we can apply the Poisson distribution. That is why we can do it. Usually, statistics is very important for doing the projects. our MBA students, whenever they are doing the projects, when we teach all the statistical formulations, they didn't keep in their mind. When they are doing problems after collecting the data, only they'll come with us. What, ma'am, they have collected the data, how, what test I had to apply for this, like that they'll come and approach us and they'll ask us, ma'am. So that is how usually we'll have it. And she is asking for real-time applications, but I think I can show her the application book what we are having. I already told you, no, ma'am. This is the application book we have made it in our department. So what we'll do? Can you able to see my slide, ma'am?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Can you able to see this? Yeah. See, now this is a Fourier transformation. Fourier transformation is used in image processing. How they studied Fourier transformation. The transformation is nothing but for transforming from one to another. That is how they studied. But now in image processing, how the Fourier transform has been applied. So like that, this is for the CSE department. Next, for the EEE department, we have each and every topic we have taken it: matrix theory, and then all the topics: differential calculus, maximum integral calculus, vector calculus, complex numbers, Fourier transform, Z transform, probability, Laplace transform, ordinary differential equation. All the topics we have taken it. For the EC, see that EC, ma'am. In the EC also we have considered vector, eigenvalues, eigenvectors, and then starting from the first semester mathematics, differential calculus, where and all it has been used for their core subjects, integral calculus, and then partial differential equation. So we'll come into the random process, complex analysis. These are all the topics they already studied in first and second semester. It is common for Anna University as well as autonomous institutions. So same thing. So this is how we have prepared that book now.
Okay.
Random variables. So random variables is signal processing, communication programming, and then marginal conditional density problem. Where it has been.
It will be nice, madam, if you could
Like
able to share. Our students will get benefited.
Yeah,
And
sure.
students,
Sure,
you can also
sure.
unmute your mic and ask questions. If you don't know to type or anything, you can also ask questions. I think madam has given a very clear instruction about the probability and where it is applied. She has shown the examples in these papers. Your maths teachers will be posting these things into your groups. So make it a point to go through the book right from first page to last page. Don't say simply open the page on the day of examination. Okay.
Yes, they should learn the concept, ma'am. That is very important. What we felt, they'll be asking one question from each unit, ma'am. There is no choice at all for the students. I think it is not much beneficial for the students this time, because one question means they should know the full concept of that unit. That is what I am very much worried.
Again,
how the
in the
students
May month, they are given May month they are given one more circular has not come, but they are given an instruction. It will be followed in the old pattern before pandemic, 2 marks and but questions methodology is the same. Open book test questions may not be direct questions. Instead of 50 marks, they have made it as 100 marks. But still, the questions remains the application of mind. They want to, according to Bloom's taxonomy, they want to check how the analyzing part is done by the students. So I think definitely K4 and K5 and K6 of Bloom's taxonomy will be checked.
Will be very much yes, ma'am. Very much.
So
very much,
I think all the notes and they should understand the concept, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. That is what very important.
Really,
I will share my. I have
nice.
my notes, ma'am.
You can
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Any other questions, ma'am?
Sure, I'll share.
Next question, ma'am. Why probability theory is important to statistics?
Probability and statistics is very interrelated. Statistics only the first one. Statistics is said to be the mother and probability is its kid. Because whenever, what do you say in statistics? Statistics means it is collection of data. When you collect the data, then only we can analyze. Am I right? See, analyzation part will comes into the probability. Statistics means we are collecting the data, in that we are having the population and sample. From the sample only we are arriving into the mean, variance, everything, standard deviation. So here the statistics and the probability are interrelated. Statistics is the base. From the statistics we are studying the probability concept. Uncertainties we are studying. That uncertainty concept comes from deals in the probability theory. That is why very important. It is very much important. Mostly for the data collection, wherever you are collecting data collection concept has been existing. In that, statistics is much needed. All the statistical methods are very much needed. Chi-square test, F-test, everything is very much. ANOVA, the mechanical students, they'll be studying it. That and all very much needed for analyzation of a collection of data. So they both are interrelated. There is no, it is not a different subject like Laplace transform and statistics. It is statistics and probability are just continuous process only. Yes, ma. Next.
Next question, ma'am. How PRP is related to EC core papers and communication theory paper, ma'am?
Yeah, PRP, that is what I showed you, that book, it consisting of all the probability random process concept which has been used. See what we did, when we collecting this data, we'll go and sit with the, see one thing I want to tell you, we the mathematics teacher, I had a discussion with my Anna University professor, once he came to my college, and then when we are sitting and discussing, he said, why a mathematics teacher has to tell the application of mathematics in the core subject? The students have to recollect, am I right? Whenever, see, in signals and system, whenever a signals and system teacher is teaching, when I after the next class, if I enter into the classroom, in the board fully I can see that Z transformation, am I right? We are the all the Z transformation concept will be used in signals and system. All the Laplace transformation and Fourier transformation concept are used in the signals and system. See, whenever you transforming from one to another, transformation has been applied. That transformation comes into mathematics. Similarly, in the random processes, if you say that analog to digital, if you want to convert analog to digital, the process is said to be what? Random process. Because the random process, when you convert into analog to digital, you will be having the output. That output is nothing but what? The sample space. Sample space output, if you say it is, it may be core topic. If you same way output word is belong to core, I can say that. But the same output, if I say that the sample space, what do you mean by sample space? All possible outcomes are said to be sample space. That sample space is nothing but what? It is a probability related axioms. So probably sample space, if it comes into sample space, automatically random process will also be there. The process has been existing. That is why. So each and every, see, I can give you one assignment to you people. You are in second year, right? What you have to do is next semester onwards, whenever you study any of your core subjects, if at all anywhere, if you didn't see this A is equal to cos of omega t plus cos omega t plus theta, if you didn't see any of that function, then you will not studying easy. So that function, that random process function will be existing everywhere in your core subjects. So they both are, it is very much needed. That process is said to be random process. What do you mean by random? Random means uncertainty. Wherever you get an uncertainty process, then it is said to be random process. So in digital signal processing, you will be getting uncertainties existing. So that is how process is interrelated. So this book will be very much useful. If you go through this, all the topics will be covered. I'll share with your madam officially. Anything else?
Next question, ma'am. How probability is used in modern technology?
Modern technology. I don't know. You are asking in wide sense, like modern technology. What do you mean by? I think modern technology means technology. It comes into core. That is your department, your subjects. So probability is everywhere. It is been used in your technical. So it is not like a modern technology or any technology.
Madam,
this will be used.
Madam.
I don't know. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You can give an example with the collection of data of COVID patients, right? They are giving it to smart systems, expert systems, and they themselves studying that, and it is giving a probability. This much of now we are getting the information. Now this much of patients will be there. Second wave will be worse than the first wave, and they are predicting. That prediction comes because of the sample collection, and this is what the modern technology is. using in expert system. You are studying in industrial standard, all software they use this random process. Samples they are collecting. From the samples they are collecting.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That is
So
all.
as a
Thank you, ma'am.
application
That is
teacher,
what. Now
I
we
took
can.
this opportunity, Chitra ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That is what we can say that this kind of this RT-PCR they are taking. That see, I want to share something. RT-PCR they are taking. The results will be they are collecting and the samples will be uploaded in Excel sheet. So since my daughter is a doctor, she is doing that. Now she stopped doing the doctor job. She is doing only the technical job, like Excel sheet. They are opening and they are entering all the how many positive, how many negative cases, how many are asymptomatic. So these are all the collections we are having: positive, negative, asymptomatic, affected for very much. They are in ICU, they are in home, like that way. So these collections we can analyze. Analyzation part comes into mathematics, whatever it may be, the statistics or probability. Uncertainty we are seeing, ma'am, now.
Yeah, with this data only, the chief minister has been advised to extend the COVID isolation. That is, lockdown extended because they think probable case may shoot up. So if they are in lockdown, it may reduce. So this is what your probability and statistics.
Yes.
Now understand.
We cannot predict now, ma'am. We cannot predict. So if we extend the lockdown, the cases may be reduced, or cases may be as it is, or it may be increased. So uncertain, the result may not be predicted. Therefore, this is nothing but what a probability. Here only the probability study arises. The data collection is said to be statistics. Data collection is nothing but it's a statistics set.
They are very much
confident.
If it given a people to come out, the chance of infection will be more. So they put the lockdown.
More.
Okay,
that
because
is
of the samples they had. Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Next question, ma.
Next question, ma'am. How probability is used in real-time applications?
That is what madam told, the real-time application only ma'am told. Now then the pandemic, the probability is used in analyzing the COVID patients data collection. So ma'am also given a guide to me. She has helped me. Yes, ma'am.
Next question, ma'am. Does NPTEL course in PRP is useful for EC students?
Very much useful. I attended one NPTEL in PRP, probability and random process. I attended because I want to know how the questions will be asked, because they suddenly that will be very much helpful for me to set the MCQ pattern. Suddenly they said MCQ pattern, so I attended the NPTEL. I got an idea how we can set the MCQ questions for the probability paper. So very much important. All the NPTEL courses, please attend in mathematics also. That will enhance your knowledge, that will enhance your application part, that will enhance your depth knowledge in this concept. Please. Yes, ma'am.
Last question, ma'am. Could you give an example related to Open Jackson network technique?
Oh, it is in queuing theory. I didn't touch queuing theory, ma. Now I had to go in depth.
Okay.
It is in queuing theory, Open Jackson. So I didn't touch that because it is related to only CSE, right? Open Jackson, Closed Jackson network and all for CSE. So I didn't touch. I have taken only common to CSE, IT and DC. I heard that all the three will be there. So I think I didn't touch it. Sorry, I think I can't help it now because I had to go into depth.
Thanks for answering all the questions, ma'am. Over to you, Anita.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Raghavi. Gratitude makes sense of your past, brings peace today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. May I call upon Ms. Lalita to deliver the vote of thanks. Over to you, Lalita.
Thank you, Anita. Good afternoon, everyone. The respected and most distinguished chief guest, respected principal, our beloved vice principal cum HOD, our professors, and my dear friends, I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose a vote of thanks for today's webinar. Let me first of all giving glory to Almighty God for making today's webinar a resounding success. Now, I would like to thank our speaker, Dr. Chitra ma'am, Head of Maths Department in SRM Valliyamma Engineering College, for visiting and enlightening us with her knowledge. Today's webinar was full of knowledge and interesting things. It gave deep insights into the topic and relieved some interesting facts on random process. The informations where ma'am told us about modern approach to probability and statistics was really informative. I'm pretty sure the precious knowledge that ma'am gave us will definitely help us in our studies and future. Once again, I would like to thank Dr. Chitra ma'am for taking out time from her busy schedule and enlightening us with the knowledge. And beyond the content, we have got more courage to face the exam with much confidence from your presentation, ma'am. It has improved our confidence level to score more marks in our exams. Thank you so much, ma'am. The value of college
Thank you
education
so
is
much.
not the learning of. Thank you, ma'am. The value
Thank
of
you, Ma.
college
Thank you.
education. The value of college education is not the learning of many facts, but the training of mind to think. So, I would like to thank our respected principal, Dr. Sujata Anand ma'am, and my sincere gratitude to our beloved Vice Principal cum HOD, Dr. L. Nalini Joseph ma'am, for her support and bringing up the speaker for this wonderful session. And my heartfelt thanks to the coordinators, Ms. Roslyn ma'am, Ms. Shamla ma'am, and Ms. Niveda ma'am, and Mr. Mahadevan sir, Mr. Mahendran sir, and Ms. Jasmine ma'am, who helped us with proper guidance and support. And I also want to thank the student committee who really worked hard to make this event successful. I heartily congratulate all the participants for their active participation in this event. No program can become successful with a single person. So I extend my big thanks to our department. And on behalf of our student coordinators, I thank our department staffs and students for their active support. Once again, I thank you everyone who all are gathered here and made this event a successful one. Thanks a lot. Over to you, Anita.
Thank you, Lalita. The perfect ending to any day race or project is to finish strong. My hearty thanks to everyone for the great success of the event. And our upcoming webinars is Problem Solving Approach in Waveguides on June 3rd, Ecosystem Restoration on June 4th, Effective Organizational, Culture and People Management on June 5th, Random Process and Noise Characterization in Communication Systems on June 7th. Don't try to be the best on the team. Try to be the best for the team. Dear participants, the feedback link has been posted in the chat box. Kindly fill it. Dear participants, the feedback link has been posted in the chat box. Kindly fill it. And you will receive your certificate within 2-3 days. Stay safe, stay home, keep social distance. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Chitra ma'am. It was a wonderful session. It went on like an international panel discussion like in the end. So that is what the students has to be exposed. How a technical teacher and a maths teacher is combining to solve the problem, a real-time environment. And really, I'm very happy and proud and really our students are blessed to have your guest lecture. Hope you have to give a guest lecture once in a semester, ma'am. This is our humble request from our side. Keep your teaching to our students also. They are coming from different backgrounds from all parts of Tamil Nadu. So really your lecture will help them, and as I said in the vote of thanks, their confidence level would have been increased, and now they know the how to because whenever we say no, they are thinking, ma'am, they will say so. Now as a working in an autonomous institution, when you are saying about anonymity, they'll know it's added value to that. Okay. So thanks a lot. It was a wonderful session. All the teachers are giving me in WhatsApp, ma'am, you have got a very good resource person. Really, I'm honored by your presence. Thank you so much. On behalf of my team, thank you. And all the works are done by our students. So they're under a
nicely
good
organized, ma'am. It's
yeah.
nicely organized, well organized, ma'am. Very well organized. Very well organized.
Thank you so much,
no conclusion. Thank you, ma. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Sure, ma'am. I'm very much happy that if at all it is an offline session, it will be extremely good. But anyway, in this pandemic, we organizing this online session is also nice. And you have done a very well, good job, ma'am. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Please do share us at group, ma'am.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. I'll share the book. I'll share the book with you, ma'am. Ma'am, I'll send it to Narini ma'am's email ID, and then ma'am will share it.
Okay, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Okay.
Thanks
Thank
a
you so
lot,
much.
Chitra.
Thank you,
Thanks a
ma'am.
lot.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Keep in touch
Okay.
with me, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye,
sure,
ma'am.
sure, madam. Bye, ma'am.
Shall I leave, ma'am?
Yeah, you can log out, ma'am. Thank you.